Yes, unfortunately this doesn't actually count as an exit. So
Wow, that's where I've messed up.
that is where you've messed up. Yeah. So today we're doing a mock test with Harley here. Harley, you've got your test next week, haven't you?
Yeah, next Tuesday.
Is it a secret or not really? No, it's clearly not because you just said.
Couple of friends know.
Okay.
But yeah, no, obviously not.
Yeah. So you got your test on Tuesday. How are you feeling about it?
All right.
Yeah.
It's one of them. It'll go 50-50.
Yeah. You texted me last night, was it? You said you wanted to do a mock test.
Yeah,
today.
Yeah.
Why do you want to do a mock test?
Just mainly see where I'm at.
Yeah.
Just like see how I'm going, and then whatever I don't do well on, just improve on for the next week, and then.
So you just give yourself a bit of time before you actually have your test to see if there's anything you can fix and improve on.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Okay, so the mock test today is in Newcastle Under-Lyme. So we're going to do one of the latest test routes. In fact, my learner Tom last week did this test route. So it is still a live test route. So we'll see how we get on. Does that sound okay?
Cool.
Do you know what happens on the driving test? Do you want me to talk you through it?
You can do, yeah.
Okay, so the very first thing when you come across the examiner on the driving test, they're going to introduce themselves outside the car, and they're going to first of all ask you to do the eyesight test, which is just reading a number plate approximately 20-25 meters away, basically on the other side of the car park. They'll ask you to read the number plate. Once you've done that, providing you do that correctly, they'll then ask you to go and sit in the car. They'll come sit in the car with you, and they'll ask you a tell me question. Have you looked at any of the tell me questions yet?
Not yet. That's when I was going to start like within a week.
What you're thinking about?
Yeah.
So are we skipping that today?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll skip the tell me question. Better make sure you revise those.
Yeah.
Okay, then they'll start the driving test. They'll introduce themselves. They might tell you a bit about themselves, that sort of thing. They'll tell you if it's going to be sat nav or if it's following the signs. And they may say something along the lines of, you may be required to do an emergency stop today. Then you'll start the test. At some point during the test, they'll also ask you a show me question.
Yeah.
Now, if you get either of those questions wrong, it is only a minor, but it does make you look a little bit silly as well. And it doesn't make you look like you've prepared as well as perhaps you should have. So just keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
So we're starting at the Chinese restaurant around the corner from the test center. So the route is literally exactly the same, apart from you have an extra 5 seconds of driving.
Awful.
And that's about it.
Yeah.
You ready?
Sound.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to generally stay silent. I'm not going to help Harley at all. In fact, I'm going to be quite mean today. We're going to do it full as if a driving examiner was here. Okay?
Yeah.
I may write a few things down because I don't think I'm going to remember every single thing.
Yeah.
Not that I need to, because I'm expecting perfection.
Yeah, expecting.
Right.
Expectation versus reality.
So on the driving test as well, the examiner will expect you to have both front windows open just a tad due to COVID. Something worth just thinking about as well. If you get too hot or cold, obviously change, adjust as accordingly. At the end of the road, we're going to be turning right. We are doing sat nav today. Okay, as I say, this is the test route that Tom actually did last week.
Turn right, Clay Lane, then bear right, Stafford Avenue. You will arrive at your destination at 1:50 p.m.
Patience game, eh?
Oh no. Not kidding.
It's a bit more stressful waiting than.
I know. It's actually like an examiner next to you.
Are you doing the right thing there? What's the message here? Well, the message is We're right outside the test centre. There's a junction here. We've already waited a few minutes. Imagine if this was a real driving test. But Harley's doing the right thing. You've just got to be patient and think safety first.
After 200 yards, bear right, Stafford Avenue. Bear right.
First minor of the mock test. Harley didn't check his central or right mirror before overtaking the van.
After 300 yards, go left on the roundabout and take the first exit, A519, Claymore Road.
So we're now approaching the end of the first 5 minutes of the test. Normally going to be the worst part of the test because that's when the nerves are at the highest. Normally you settle in after the first few minutes. Are you feeling any better or not quite yet?
Alright. Okay.
I've spoken a bit earlier, haven't I?
Okay, yeah, just a little bit.
Oh dear. This is a 40-mile-per-hour road, and as you can see, Harley is clearly trying to keep his speed up with the road. There is a car in front, so he's still also keeping his distance from the car in front, which is absolutely perfect. Well done, Harley. Somewhere around this point I might ask you, so Harley, what do you do for a living? What would you be doing on a Tuesday at 1 o'clock, 1:30 if you weren't here today?
Just finishing college. Just finishing.
And what do you do in college?
Law, business, and criminology.
Law? You told me you're smart.
Not
Seriously?
smart. Yeah, seriously, do law, yeah. Yeah, I do. It's good. I enjoy it.
Why? How did I not know that?
I suppose like never really asked, and I've never just sorted it out.
Let's take the.
Roundabout and take the
Sorry,
second
ignore me.
exit.
So,
It's alright, ignore me. Fantastic position around that roundabout there. As you can see, he's really stuck to the outside of the roundabout. A lot of people get very tempted to cut across to the middle or to the right of the roundabout. And although there is only one lane when you enter, a lot of drivers treat it as 2 lanes. So you've got to make sure you're right out on the outside of that roundabout. Well done, Harley.
yeah.
Just,
Yeah, it's a bit like they're doing their driving.
yeah, they don't know if they're, yeah, that's it. That's it.
I wouldn't like it anyway.
No. So we took a little detour into the petrol station and back out. Just added an extra 5-10 seconds to the test, just to let that learner in front continue on ahead, just in case they were on their actual driving test. They did not need us following them all the way.
On the roundabout and take the first exit.
I've got to say it, that was a clean approach there to the roundabout, Harley. A very nice mirrors of the central mirror, left mirror, and a signal. You then popped it into second and you got that clutch back up while braking to help slow the car down. Very nicely done, and I can already see you looking nice and early.
A500 Queensway towards Newcastle for 4 miles.
So this is the A500. If you're from Newcastle or Stoke-on-Trent, you may know this very well and possibly dread it as well. But actually, it's not a terrible road. This road is 50 miles per hour. As you can see, Harley's hitting around 47 to 48, which is absolutely perfect. He's trying to keep up with the traffic, but at the same time, he's keeping his distance from the lorries, allowing him to see around the vehicles. So yes, you're doing law, so what would you hope to do at the end of it?
Uni, but I don't know what study at uni. I don't know whether to do law or criminology at uni. Not undecided.
And if you went to do criminology, what would you possibly do at the end of that?
I don't know, I just won't go into...
Now this was really cleanly done. If you look at the speed here, we're doing 47 miles per hour on the speedometer. As we approach this slip road on the left, it's an extra lane, but Harley has clearly seen the red car may possibly move across. So he hasn't slowed down massively, but he has just eased off the gas in case he needs to just let this red car slip in front of us. Well done, Harley. So this road is really, really boring, and it is just long and continuous for about 10 minutes. So I've actually sped up the video by 400%. So as an alternative, I thought instead I could sing you a song. Are you ready? No, I'm just kidding. We're just going to be quiet for a little bit. But yeah, 400%. This road starts off, this particular route starts off from Junction 15, M6 roundabout, and heads up. We're heading for Basford roundabout. We're going to take the first exit there. Let's instead just admire Harley's perfect driving at 400% speed.
After 300 yards, go left on the roundabout and take the first exit, A53, towards Newcastle Under-Lyme. Go left on the roundabout and take the first exit.
How's the children's football club going?
Do you know what? We didn't win on the weekend, but we actually played outstanding.
Really?
Yeah, we actually played really well.
That was good.
Like,
You could walk away, and tell
Yeah.
well done.
yeah, that's what I mean. Like, the other team will literally just get the ball, because obviously it's not offsides in under 8. The other team will get the ball, get a player up next to our goal, let the ball up, and it's essentially, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas we were just playing football, and the game should be played.
Oh, that's good.
Like, good football as well. I was
Yeah.
really impressed.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
My boys are starting. They play cricket in the summer,
Yeah.
but they've started an indoor winter cricket club thing for the same one, so I'm taking them there tonight.
That should be good.
Well, I hope so. I do hope so. We'll see, won't we?
I used to play cricket.
Did you?
But then I wasn't really a fan of it because we went like one cricket season where it was literally just getting called off every weekend. So I just got fed up of it.
Yeah.
Got fed up of it.
Yeah, it does get like that, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's weather dependent because it's got to keep the cricket pitches quite nice as well.
Yeah. It's not like rugby where you can just get stuck
No.
in, get muddy.
I don't know.
Yeah. And then tomorrow, unfortunately, one of the boys has got himself back into the Pokemon Go, so I have to go to raid hour at 6 PM in the freezing cold.
Quality.
Yeah, can't wait. And then on Thursday, he's also got himself into Pokemon card. So I have to take him to Manaflux. Shot.
300 yards, turn left, A52, up the road. Then, at the end of the road, turn right. Turn left, A52, Borough Road. Then, at the end of the road, turn right. Turn right, Brunswick Street. Then, cross the roundabout and take the second exit, right.
Now, some people may disagree with me with this one, but I don't believe you need to signal around to the right. It's a continuous road, even though it bends sharply to the right. So, no signal required as far as I'm concerned.
After 100 yards, cross the
So this is a little bit confusing for poor Harley, and I'm sure this has happened before. The sat-nav says the second exit, and actually this is the second exit, but sat-nav's not counting this as an exit because it's just a dead end, which can be very confusing. Does this count as anything at all for Harley? No, not at all. As long as it just goes around safely and redirects.
Count as an exit. So
Wow. That's where I've messed up.
that is where you've messed up. Yeah. Does it matter if you go the wrong way on your driving
No,
test?
not at all.
No. Do you get a minor or a serious fault or anything?
No. I don't
Not
think
as long as you do it
do.
safely. I'll go.
Yeah, just carry on. So,
So, do you know where you're going now?
this
First
next one.
exit left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is one of those really awkward situations, but the guy's walking towards a zebra crossing, and as we get there, he looks up and stops and just starts looking at his phone. He's not on the edge of the zebra crossing either. He's clearly stopped. So Harley carries on. My issue is I don't even know if Harley's noticed him. And personally, I still would have stopped just to make sure. So for this is Harley's first serious fault.
Go left on the roundabout and take the first exit, A52, Rycroft.
I'm just gonna have to wait it out for a gap here.
After 400 yards, go left on the roundabout and take the first exit, A34, Lower Street.
Newcastle Under-Lyme is tough. It really does need some experience. It's just there's 5 roundabouts and you just got to be going in and out of each exit just to get an idea of what's actually going on. Some of them are quite unusual. They're unusual shapes. Some enter with 3 lanes and come out with 2 lanes on the roundabout. So they're just a bit confusing. It's not something you want to walk into on your driving test if you haven't practiced on these a little bit.
After 200 yards, cross the roundabout and take the second exit, A34, Lower Street. Cross the roundabout and take the second exit.
This is my least favourite roundabout of the 5 in Newcastle Under-Lyme. As you can see here, I've actually frozen it because this happens a lot. So this is the one you've really got to practice and practice. As you enter this roundabout here, there are 3 lanes. One is to only turn left. The centre is to go into the roundabout straight on, and the right lane is to go either straight on at the roundabout or third exit right or back on yourself. To go straight on at the roundabout, Harley needs the middle lane, which as you can see is approaching perfectly. Unfortunately, When we get onto the roundabout, he does what a lot of learners do and starts heading straight on for the middle of the roundabout to hug the inside, forgetting that there's actually a car on your right. Very easy done, but it does have consequences, and for this he ends up with a serious fault.
Now the next roundabout, it's the third exit right, okay?
After 100 yards, head right on the roundabout and take the third exit, A53, Blackfriars Road. Go right on the roundabout and take the third exit.
It's a big Golf, isn't it? Big Golf?
Oh, yeah. There's a little bit. I thought you were on about like one of the cars on the other side.
Still insisting on getting an Audi, you know. Audi A3. Found the one I want, yeah. I'm hoping so. Just the price tag, you know.
Yeah. What a nice new one.
Not a brand spanker, no. 18, I think. 18. Newish.
Yeah, still new. But
Not brand new. In fact, it's not even new, is it? It's 4 years old. But still.
that sounds good,
yeah.
don't it?
Yeah.
Close off.
After 300 yards, cross the roundabout and take the second exit, A53, Wetmore Road, then turn left. Cross the roundabout and take the second exit, then turn left. After 300 yards, turn left, Sutherland Drive. Turn left.
Well, what's it do?
Harley's left his left signal on here, so for that he is getting a minor because he's not even turning it off as he's driving away.
Perfect. When it's safe to do so, drive on. And then when it's safe to do so, can you pull over from the right?
After 200 yards, bear left, Sutherland Drive. Then, at the end of the road, turn right.
Great. When it's safe to do so, can you reverse back 2 car spaces and I'll tell you when to stop. Oh.
You'll tell me when to stop, did you say?
Yeah. Cool. That's plenty. When it's safe to do so, can you drive on? Would you mind just pulling over on the left for me again, please?
Yeah.
Brilliant. When it's safe to do so, just drive on. So, if you're doing a sat-nav test, driving test, for the last 10 minutes of the test, you would just be expected to follow directions. You aware of that?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So we're turning right at the end of the road. And the second exit on the roundabout.
We're heading back to the test centre now. I personally think Harley's driving is absolutely fantastic. He has made a couple of decent boo-boos, especially in Newcastle town centre. So it's town driving that he really needs to practice. I think with a little bit of practice on that and a bit of focus on the mirrors, I think Harley will be very close to perfect for his test. So well done, Harley.
Perfecto, turn the car off. That, Harley, is the end of your mock test. How do you feel you did?
Failed.
Why?
Because of that one roundabout.
The one roundabout, what happened?
I just completely just lost my head, and I just went, I don't know why, but I started going into the right lane when I know that really I should have been going in the left around it, and it was stupid.
Yeah, I mean, the second the examiner ever has to intervene, that's an automatic fail.
Yeah.
If they have to say, slow down, or grab the wheel, or anything at all. Do you understand why I grabbed the wheel?
Yeah.
Do you think it was reasonable to do that?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, so you know, that's a very common thing with that roundabout in Newcastle. It's a real pain in the backside. It's 3 lanes. You've got 1 lane that turns left only,
Yeah.
so they never enter the roundabout. Middle lane becomes the left lane, the outside of the roundabout. Inside lane becomes the inside of the roundabout, the right lane. Yeah. And we just forgot, or we just had a brain fart, and we just forgot to get in the outside. Yeah, we had a stinker. We did have a stinker. There was a second one. Okay, so that would have been a serious fault.
Yeah.
There was a possible second one, which I was umming and ahhing about. Okay, and I'm going to point it out. When we went the wrong way, that was fine. When we came back out, there was a guy waiting to cross the zebra crossing.
Yeah, I saw that.
Now that's a touch and go one. Go on.
Because I don't know, I just saw him on his phone. He's just like
he was sort of standing there, and he wasn't even on the red paving, and that's why I was sort of like, that's touch and go. He wasn't even standing on the red paving. He was very much like, I'm just going to hang around here.
Yeah.
And then he looked up as we were driving and was like, oh, okay, I'll go now.
Yeah.
You know, so that's why I'm saying that's touch and go. That one. You got to be careful. If there's any risk, what do you do?
Just stop.
Just stop. Yeah. Don't risk it. But yeah, it was. I can understand why.
Yeah.
The situation.
50-50 with that.
Yeah. Anything else?
I don't know. You put him under pressure. Maybe.
It's all right.
I don't know.
No, that's fine. If you can't think of anything obvious, then that's fine.
Yeah, nothing like obvious like the roundabout one anyway.
No. There was a few minors. Do you want me to just point those out?
Yeah.
So there was a couple of mirrors going around cars, just the pressure probably. Forgot to check a central and left mirror going around those vehicles. So there's 2 or 3 of those.
Yeah.
There was leaving your signal on. I would say 2 or 3 minors.
Yeah.
You pulled over to the left, and then you left your signal on left as you're coming off as well, or. Yeah, so there's a couple of, you get a minor for each of those.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you pulled over on the right. Now, I'm not going to give you a minor for this one, I just don't like it. You know when you pull over on the right, and then you're signalling, you should say when I said it's time to move on, you signalled to say, I want to go. And there's a car coming, 1 single car.
Yeah.
So what could he potentially have thought when you put your signal on?
That was coming over.
You might have pulled out on him, you haven't seen him.
Yeah.
If there's a row of traffic and you're in a busy road and there's loads of cars, I would always definitely signal to say, can someone let me out at some point? You know, because that's the only way you're going to get out, sort of thing, in that sort of situation. But when there's 1 car, I would personally leave the signal off to, you know, if it's going to reduce confusion.
Yeah.
And that's what signals are about. And then signal once they've gone, just to say, I'm going, by the way. Just something to think about. It's just more think about it, not even giving it a fault, just having a little thought on it for future. The end part before we pulled over that road where we pulled over on the right, you were going, you hit 33 down there.
Yeah.
And it's a 30. Yeah?
Yeah.
Just keep that in mind. That would be a minor.
Yeah.
And if you hit 34, 35, they're well within their right to fail you. Yeah. I mean, to be honest, 33 is up to them.
33.
Generally, they're going to be okay.
Be a bit lenient.
Yeah. But second you hit 34, 35,
It's just like done.
well, then you're getting really touch and
Yeah.
go. Okay. You can almost sometimes get away with it, but you don't want to be, because if it's a speed camera, you're going to end up with that fine, aren't you?
Yeah.
Okay. Does that help?
Yeah.
Does this
That
help?
definitely helps. Yeah. 100%.
There's, to be honest, mate, your driving was fantastic. Overall, your driving was really good.
Yeah.
Okay, I can't really fault anything else, and I was so impressed, especially when we go down the dual carriageway. And so far, I'd given you one minor. I thought, is this all going to be able to do? One minor.
Yeah.
And then we went the wrong way, and sometimes that sort of leads on to
bigger mistakes.
Spiraling. Yeah. Especially after that, I could see you were annoyed then at that
After
point.
that one, because then I'm like kicking myself then, because I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, but you've got to be careful of that as well, because sometimes when you think you've got a minor, when you think you've got a serious fault, it's actually they've only given you a minor. Yeah. And when you're telling them, just take me back, you failed me, then they will fail you.
Then it's
So don't. Now in that instance, especially with the grabbing the wheel,
Whereas
you've done a deal.
100%.
But it's not always the case. If you hit a curb, for instance, a lot of people have had a paddy whack and gone, oh, failed. Well, actually, they probably would have given you a minor, because you haven't mounted it, you've just brushed it. You know? So don't ever, try not ever kick yourself too much. Try and just get on with it.
Yeah.
All right. So well done with that. Really well done. Wish Harley luck for Tuesday. We're going to work on some of those mistakes that he's made today. We're going to correct those.
Yeah. 100%, yeah.
Definitely. Any advice for anyone else out there?
Just be confident.
Just be confident. That's it. I like it. Be confident. That is one of the not new even, to be honest. It's been around a while with some slight changes. That is a regular test route in Newcastle Under-Lyme. If you are coming here for your driving test, make sure that you do that test route, especially with the Newcastle roundabouts. I am going to be doing some videos in the future on the roundabouts, because they're a pain in the backside. Thank you very much for watching. Like and subscribe.